across from the White House, and they tried tearing down the statues in Lafayette Park, and they wouldn't stop. They used violence. They tried crawling the fences of the White House and basically storming it. And we should have an investigation of the May 31st, because who are these? We need to round them up and send a lot of these people to jail.
So recently, the annual CPAC convention, aka the right wing's annual collective circle jerk that happens every year, took place, and the head organizer of this event, a guy named Matt Schlapp, was on the panel on the stage, and he described the harrowing situation that happened while he was visiting Laura Ingraham in Virginia, him and his family. He talks about a time in 2020 when all the riots were happening, and all the protests around the death of, men like George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, of a bunch of people, Black Lives Matter affiliated, hitting the streets in protests of, horrible police behavior.
Matt Schlapp went undercover into Washington when that whole thing was going down.
We just couldn't believe what was happening. Once again, we're in a state of shock. And it was Laura who said, let's go down there and see this. It's not being reported accurately. By the way, she's one tough mother. And we all got dressed up in our camouflage gear. And back then, the masks. And so we're all doing masks and hats. And I was borrowing the football gear from our host's son. And my only problem is I had tasseled loafers on. So I got all ready, and my daughters looked at me, and they're like, Dad, you're so going to get hit. Look at your shoes.
I mean, we can laugh at the absurdity of this guy talking about he went undercover with Laura Ingraham at a freaking Black Lives Matter rally, as if it was like he was going into northern Vietnam in the jungles against the Viet Cong or something. Like, as if it's just not regular everyday Americans just trying to have their voices heard. He actually had some moments of levity when he talked about it'd be hard for him to go undercover because he was wearing, loafers with tassels on them. That's actually kind of funny. Even though, the most striking thing about the mass protests and uprisings that we had in 2020 was how multi-ethnic, multiracial they were. There were white people, black people, brown people, women, old, young, all stripes of people at these protests. So never mind that fact. Whatever. This guy wants us to believe that him and Laura Ingraham went behind enemy lines.
We went down into it, and I have to say, all you could smell was drugs. There were no cops. It was complete pandemonium. It was like a scene from a movie, Escape from New York or one of these end of the world things. And it was like, you couldn't believe it. I saw them spray painting. They had cans of spray paint.
And of course, what did these folks encounter? Oh my God, there was spray paint everywhere. I couldn't believe it. These people sprayed things with paint.
The desecration that was going on live, no cops, nobody's saying a word. The fires get started. More than one fire got started. They almost breached, think about this. You'll never read it. They almost breached the 18 acres of the White House.
They almost breached the White House. Almost. Not like January 6th where these cats actually got into the Capitol and government officials had to scurry. These people actually hurt cops. People died, all of that nonsense. They almost breached it. And our fearless leader,
the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, has to be taken to a bunker. For the first time in our history, outside of the Civil War, the president has to go into a bunker because other Americans, are trying to breach the duly elected president who they spent every moment of every day saying he wasn't duly elected. But you are an insurrectionist if you believe in voter ID.
He repurposes Donald Trump's act of cowardice of going into a bunker as if the damn White House is being sieged by some enemy combatants. He repurposes it as, oh my God, I can't believe this almost happened to our president. And, I can't believe he had to be such a coward and a little baby about it. This is just hilarious. The fact that these guys are doing this without irony is just like, get a sense of humor, please, right wing.